just a rundown of kind of policy updates generally related to Hamilton Park, some of which were touched upon earlier by Corey, and then happy to have open Q&A where really we'll take a question about anything, and then happy to follow up. But before I did that, just a few thank yous, and starting first, just it's great to see everybody. As you know, COVID is a tough time, and it's been a long winter, and so it's just nice to see everyone's friendly faces through our Zoom boxes, and hopefully I'll get to see everybody in person safely soon. I did not know about Sheila's passing, but I know how much she contributed to the neighborhood, so would love to talk to the board about, maybe doing a resolution for her at the city council, and other ways in which we can honor her work in the neighborhood, and in NJCU. She was, I have my NJCU hat on. She was a full commitment to Jersey City. So it was very sad news. And I also just wanted to put a special thanks for this board. Two of the issues that Corey mentioned, HPNA has just done an extraordinary job advancing in the city's interest, and making my job easier. So the two ones, which I'll give quick updates on, are the Newport Mall and the sort of area north of the Holland Tunnel, which you guys have helped, I think, really move in the right direction as a city. So on the Newport Mall front, Corey gave a good update. We are sort of in the legal weeds, in essence, of figuring out how to get the strongest possible agreement with Simon and with LaFrac. Simon technically has the control of the mall, but both of them obviously have influence, and hopefully get that signed in before the city council whenever we can. And then I know some questions have been sent to me from HPNA members, which we have sent to our city's corporation council. So we're waiting for the city's law department to respond on that. And then on the area north Holland Tunnel, as Corey said, they had the first meeting last Wednesday, and planning is thinking of two more meetings to get community input as they build out the rezoning and the plan. And obviously, we're really hopeful to take a holistic look at the neighborhood, which is what correctly was asked for by the neighborhood association, and think about both core institutions, schools, public safety, transit, as well as the need to build affordable housing in that area, which hasn't had it yet. So should be a good opportunity for that as well. Just running through a couple other updates that I think are worth talking about. Very briefly on the embankment, I know the Embankment Coalition had their meeting this a couple months ago in, I think, November, provided an update that they have been really working hard to try to get to a settlement. I believe, unfortunately, the latest hurdle is that Conrail has the rail, in theory, owner of that land, at least originally, has thrown up some real barriers, and I believe they're working through it. I sort of let the Embankment Coalition say more beyond that, but just wanted to give everyone an update that they're currently working on issues with Conrail. Metro Plaza, not directly in Hamilton Park's neighborhood, but just to the side. So that's the area with Bed Bath & Beyond and the BJ's, and that area, years ago, there was a development plan that had been put in place, and the current developers are working through that plan. And the next building that they're looking to build would be the one that's just kitty corner to the neighborhood. So that would be where the Bed Bath & Beyond is. They're not there yet. There would be at least a year or two away from starting. But they also intend to move the ShopRite to that building. So the ShopRite should be staying, which I know has been a major concern for folks. Over time, it would relocate from its current location to the new building they're going to build over by the Bed Bath & Beyond. Those are the sort of main development updates that are close to the neighborhood. I'm happy again during Q&A to answer any development related questions around downtown or the city. Quick open space updates. Again, you guys have been amazing on the dog runs, and I know Diane had the survey out. And my understanding is the city hopes to go out to bid for them so we can start construction in the early spring. So construction as soon as we have. I know spring is when it's when we have the worst mud, but hopefully we'll get those done sooner rather than later. And then I just wanted to kind of bring up something that I've talked about with the board, but we'll talk about with the broader neighborhood association. I am really going to try to find in 2021 funding to redo the underpass on Cole Street. So that's the sort of main connecting point between Hamilton Park and this new neighborhood north of the Holland Tunnel. And it's not, anyone's walked under it, it's not safe, it's not pleasant, it's not clean, it's a mess. And, that is the kind of pedestrian corridor between two neighborhoods that have, a lot of people. So I think it really needs to be a priority for us. We have put lights under underpasses in the past. We did that further north around like closer to 18th Street about a year ago. So we can hopefully do that again here. And I'll be try to work as closely as I can with the board on both designing the plans for it and then getting the funding for us to be able to complete that. Quick road updates. On Tuesday, the February 9th at 6 p.m., there's going to be a Zoom meeting to review the new redesign of Marin Boulevard. The borders are just south of Hamilton Park, so that the grant that the city originally applied for are from Montgomery to 6th Street, but obviously the road is very important to the neighborhood. And there was an original meeting on 2019 where design had been presented. There had been a lot of feedback on the design. The consultants went back, come up with a new design, and are now going to present it again. The really good news on this one is the city has the funding through an NJTPA grant. So once there's an agreed upon design, we can start making the changes to Marin Boulevard. So I encourage everyone, it's on my Facebook page, I encourage everyone to go out on the 9th to that meeting, see the plans, offer feedback. We'll also put it online. So people, if you can't make the meeting, you can watch the recording, look at the PDFs, and send us all your feedback. You guys should see one or two new stop signs in the neighborhood, particularly one coming at 10th and Brunswick, which has the daycare right there that had been asked for. So that stop sign should be installed in the very near future. And then back in the fall, we got a whole list of safe streets from the neighborhood, list everything from potholes to signs, to striping, to intersections. We have gone through that full list. We have tried to fill everything that we could immediately fix. So the pothole should be filled, the sign should be replaced. And if you did send us something and we haven't fixed it, please let me know. Will, who works in my office, has gone back and forth with folks. Some of the issues are on our radar and it's gonna take a little bit more time. A number of folks talked about unsafe streets at the edge of the neighborhood over at Newark Avenue, 6th Street and Division. It is one of my commitments in 21 to make those streets significantly safer. We're working with the mayor and our traffic department, who have been doing a great job, I think, overall. And so they are looking at ways to make Newark Avenue safer from the Palisades down to 4th Street, and then at that specific intersection of 6th and Division, and Newark, that sort of triangle there right by Healy's, seeing what we can do to make that significantly safer. So those are the safe streets updates. But again, let me know. Happy to take any street questions. And then two other kind of maybe slightly higher level policy issues. I just want to let you know they're kind of on my radar. One is sort of budget and taxes, and the other is marijuana legalization. So on budget and taxes, what generally happens in the next month is the mayor presents his budget to the city council. The city council reviews it, and then we potentially make amendments and then pass it. So when the mayor gives us his budget, I will try to host an open community meeting for everyone in both downtown and the whole city to review it, to get questions answered, and to get feedback on what folks would like to change. I did highlight a criticism today, which is our water bills are going up. And what's going to happen, just so everyone knows, is there's the MUA, which is it's sort of a separate government agency that the board is appointed by the mayor. They run our water and sewer system. And they voted to create what's called a surcharge on water bills to pay for the city's trash contract. So the city's trash contract is a $16 million contract. It had been paid out of the general budget, general property taxes paying for it. It has now been shifted to the MUA, and the surcharge on water bills will pay for it. And the average estimate, according to the study, is everyone will pay $300 more on their water bill to now cover this trash contract. I'm critical of that. I think when you move that to a separate agency, you lose transparency, you lose oversight, and I don't think the surcharge on water is fair. I think property taxes are a better way to pay for it than a surcharge on everyone's water bill, but I want to make you aware of it, and also tell you that you're getting my opinion, so others might give you a different opinion on that. Last but not least, marijuana legalization. The voters passed it overwhelmingly in New Jersey. However, what they did not pass was the sort of structure. What does it actually look like? And they've been trying to move forward in Trenton on that. They have not yet successfully passed a bill to formalize the structure of what legalization looks for. But when they do, coming, I think, reasonably soon to Jersey City will be sort of our plans and approach. And, at a very high level, I want to say that, I'm supportive of legalization. I voted in favor of it. And I think in Jersey City, we should have safe sites where people can access marijuana. At the same point, I also want to make sure that we are successful. We learn from the cities and states who have legalized in the prior half decade, and we put really, really good policies in place. So some of the questions that we're going to be looking at are zoning. Where do dispensaries go? How do we ensure quality of life? And how do we ensure safety and equity? All of those, I think, are extraordinarily important pieces of getting legalization right in Jersey City. We're waiting for the state to pass it, but my plan is in March to be hosting community meetings in downtown. Hopefully we'll have the state structure at that point and we'll know what it could look like, and hosting those meetings to get community feedback, as well as bringing in experts who can talk about what our options are and what's worked in other cities and what hasn't. So that's sort of my list of things on my topic. On my agenda. I'm happy to take questions about really anything.